with Juel podcast, proudly sponsored by fundraisingcup.org Ministries. So we are back with another What's Going On episode, and we're shifting this series where we're going to give you a weekly rundown of what's been going on around the world with a little bit of humor on the side to keep us sane in this madness of life. Okay, guys? So today's episode is called The World's Shifting, Power, Control, and What They Don't Tell Us. And trust me, that question has never been more relevant. Between Trump's escalator adventures, Candace Owens going full detective mode, RFK Jr. versus 5G, hundreds of generals gathering in Quantico, and my random thoughts of the week. Yes, I am starting a random thoughts of the week because there's so much information, constipation going on in my mind. I figured I'd just throw it in the mix and share it with you guys. So, as you can see, this show is going to be jam-packed with information, and I'm excited to share it all with you. First up, let's talk Trump at the UN Assembly. Yes, the United Nations General Assembly leaders came together to talk peace, supposedly, development, and human rights, but also to adopt something big called the Pact for the Future. This pact includes a global digital compact and a declaration on future generations. Basically, they're trying to set global rules for digital life, yes, AI, and how future generations get a seat at the table. Sounds good on paper, but people are already side-eyeing it, calling it one step closer to a one-world government. Or even, yes, dare I say it, the mark of the beast. Look, y'all already know Revelation says the mark of the beast involves forced allegiance and blocking you from buying and selling, right? So now this pact is non-binding. It's more like a big promise, if you will, than a global law. But it is worth noting and watching because the same tech they're talking about could be abused down the line. Guys, you know how this rolls out. You know, someone comes with this big genius idea, and then next thing you know, corruption's at our door, and people are using it for Lord knows what. So we're going to keep an eye on that and let you know how that unravels. Then we have our dear President Trump showed up. His immigration remarks, guys, bold, his speech, people are calling it his most unhinged yet. And then the escalator incident happened because apparently even staircases can't behave when Trump is in the building. Meanwhile, in other news, Netanyahu defended Gaza's actions and got walkouts. Guys, yes, people walked out. Ireland's Michael Martin told everyone to take a long, hard look in the mirror. The summit hit hard, guys. More drama than a Bravo reunion, if you ask me. But moving on to Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. Candace Owens says Tyler Robinson was never even on Utah Valley University's campus. So he couldn't have been the shooter then. She called the federal government out for lying blatantly. Love her or not, guys, Candace is giving one-woman CSI energy, and I love it. And this story keeps unraveling more and more every day, so I'm here for it. If anyone knows Mrs. Owens personally, please let her know that we're hiring over here at fundraisingcup.org for a chief investigator role, starting with researching child traffickers and targeted individuals. She leaves no stone unturned, and we have an impeccable salary. It is endless coffee, and conspiracy theories. All you could dream of. We've seen your diagrams, Miss Owens, with Kanye and Charlie, and X marks the spot, girl. You got the job. Give us a call. Speaking of investigations, the Epstein list still is MIA. Okay, shocker there. Meanwhile, trafficking and missing children cases are at an all-time high and keep popping up. Please, we encourage you all to continue sharing your stories with us. We are posting it on our social media pages, and we want you to protect your loved ones. Moving on to targeted individual news. So recently, our friend to the show, Mr. Eric Ramirez, has been gang stalked, as you all know, and targeted. And sadly, he's not alone, right? We have other guests that are going to be coming on shortly to tell their stories. And many of these targeted individuals are seemingly being pushed into poverty through setups and Lord knows what else. But they're being ignored by local law enforcement, and they're left fighting alone. So that's why we launched a recent campaign on fundraisingcup.org where we encourage you guys to please donate. They need help. You guys voted on how you'd respond if this happened to you, and 67% of you said you'd go public. 33% said you'd secretly document everything. And while a stunning percentage of people want to pray and hope for the best. I was reflecting on that. And I think the reason that is largely because humans generally try to solve their problems on their own, first and foremost. And then when we fail at it, or it just doesn't work, it's at that juncture we then turn to prayer. So I see how we didn't, choose prayer first and foremost, how that happened. But anyway, I still applaud you guys because I see nothing but real fighters up in here, not hiders, which are what the harassers, in my opinion, are. You guys stand up for what you believe in, and you're ready to fight back, and I respect and salute you all. Okay. Anyway, moving on to military news. 2 days ago, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth called an unprecedented meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals at the Marine Corps based in Quantico. A who's who, if you will, of military brass, all in one place. No official agenda. People are asking, what's really going on behind the scenes, guys? What are we discussing? Okay, we got all the who's who of generals. Fill us in on what we're doing next. Some think it's about strategy. Others think it's about signaling. Whatever it is, a gathering that size in Quantico, guys, rare indeed. And now for religious news. Putin recently banned Satanism in schools. Kudos to you, Putin, for taking a stand. I know that there's some hostility going on, apparently, between us and Russia right now. But one thing I can say about this guy, Putin, is that when it comes to faith and religion, he is no stranger to standing up for what he believes in for his country. And I have to recognize that. I don't know if you guys do, but I think that is applaud-worthy because anyone who stands for something will not fall for anything. And no, guys, the rapture didn't happen this past week. Unfortunately, we are still here with the heathens. News in. They will be with us for a little bit more time, and so we have to bear with them. I know a lot of people were out there. I don't know what they were waiting for exactly, but, I do recognize the feeling of wanting to get away, right? So, also, back to that UN Pact for the future, for my believers out there, I want to remind you not to panic. This isn't the mark of the beast. That's what everyone is whispering. And, the Bible says that about forced worship and being blocked from buying or selling without it. We're not quite there yet, guys. But stay alert, use your discernment, and be informed, because these global moves can set the stage for future systems. We all know that. And now one of my favorite segments, the travel and visa news. The U.S. just dropped 100,000 fee for H-1B visa holders. That's not a visa. That's a down payment on a house. And here's another twist. As of August 2025, the U.S. rolled out a temporary pilot program that can require certain travelers to pay a visa bond of up to $15,000. Yes, dare I say it, $15,000 just to visit? That's not a vacation. That's a gamble, honestly. A $15,000 payment, you can either come to the U.S. or just buy a small island and call it America Light. Your choice. The program targets nationals from countries with high visa overstay rates or poor identity verification systems. Right now, including places like Gambia, Malawi, and Zambia. If you play by our rules and leave before your visa expires, you get your money back. But if you overstay, you get denied. Say goodbye to that cash, baby. Important note, this doesn't apply to visa waiver program countries, and it's not aimed at people who've already overstayed. So those of you who are still here, don't think you can just throw your cash down and stay a little bit longer. Still, it's another layer of stress for travelers. And then came the bans. Full travel restrictions on Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, and Libya, Somalia, Sudan. Partial restrictions on Burundi, Sierra Leone, and Togo. The African Union is not amused by any of it. They basically told the U.S., we get it. You want border security, but maybe chill a little bit, please. Meanwhile, if you need travel help, you guys know who to call. Your girl Jules always here as your agent in charge, ready to book through my agency. And as, of course, I will keep you guys informed and up to date with what's going on across the world. That's my guiltless plug. Anyway, moving on to health news. RFK Jr. has been anti-5G for years. Back in 2020, he co-signed a letter to the UK saying a small cell towers are harming kids and communities. And let's be real. Some targeted individuals, as you guys know, been on our show, very transparent, already feel this technology is being weaponized against them. So, RFK, go right ahead and roll out that campaign. You got fundraisingcup.org support. And now, moving to science news. So, the cosmic visitor making waves in the night sky, Comet 3I Atlas, discovered on July 1st, 2025. This is only the third confirmed interstellar object to pass through our solar system. Currently, 3I Atlas is about 238 million miles, I believe, from Earth, and is expected to reach its closest point to the sun in late October and pass Earth at a distance of 167 million miles in December. Captured in some stunning images I've seen on the Gemini North Scope in Hawaii. The best part of all of this is that it poses no threat to Earth, supposedly, which is good, because I already have enough trouble keeping my houseplants alive. While it's safe, 3I Atlas offers a rare opportunity for astronomers to study an object from another star system. So, guys, keep your eyes on the skies. This cosmic traveler is the one for the history books. Now, I'm excited to share with you guys my random thoughts of the week. I need a soundboard for that. All right, time for our random thoughts. You know, that stuff that makes you go, I wonder if anyone else is pondering the same thing. Israel threatened China and accused them of hiding fugitives. Global shade at its finest, guys. Some of those speeches at that young man's funeral, I don't know, it felt very KKK rally vibes going on there. I'm just saying, that's what went through my mind. And Bill Nye, the science guy, got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well deserved. I thought he would have gotten it already, to be honest. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for the podcast host with the most award. Where's my star, people? Come on, let my people talk to your people. Let's get it rolling. Elon Musk's father accused of essaying 5 of his own children. I'm not deep diving into that one. It was really cringe. My heart goes out if that's really what happens to these people. And, you know, it kind of speaks a lot about the mindsets of how his children think and operate and how headstrong, especially Elon Musk is, if it's true. So prayers to the family about that one. And then we have a Mississippi college student is suing after being hazed in a fraternity. Okay, Mississippi, this is 2 for 2. You're back in the news a week later. What's going on out there? This guy, you know, he's now relearning how to walk. What the heck are you guys doing? You know, I've already warned you guys on my podcast numerous times that these sororities and Greek fraternities are gateways into something really dark, guys. I hope you guys are starting to see the picture that's being painted. It's quite a Picasso. Pay attention to these rituals. And then a whites-only town in Arkansas is failing because of the farming crisis. Residents are moving to Missouri. And I chuckle a bit because I know, you know, I got a few messages from some associates that said the nerve. They didn't even invite me just because I'm black. Listen, it's done. They're gone. They're moving. It's okay. And then someone put a statue up of Trump and Epstein holding hands in front of the Capitol, guys. You know what? Washington, you never disappoint. Okay? You never do. And then what else we got? What else was I thinking about? Oh, people really thought the rapture was happening this week. Come on, guys. Tell me you guys did not look perplexed watching people stand outside waiting for this rapture. I don't recall the chapter people waiting outside. I thought they would just randomly be selected. But I don't know. It was just this big grand party happening of people selling their things even to get out of here. I don't know. I'll leave it there, but it did catch my attention. And this one, shout out to my girl Lauryn Hill. She dropped one album and is still a legend. Clock that T, if you will. Y'all already know I'm a lifetime fan of Miss Hill, and I don't care, frankly, how late she shows up because her lyrics were and still ahead of its time. Okay? And then what else we had going on this past week? Several celebrities posted bruises claiming domestic violence, then got back with the same partners and asked for privacy. Like, how does that work? How does that work with social media? Like, you put it out there, and then we're following, and then you want us to stop following. Make it make sense. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about this last week, but America is sending $6 billion. Yeah, $6 billion to Israel as a grant. A grant. You know, fundraisingcup.org is writing grants. Whoever's out there accepting $6 million to Israel. And this is not alone. Again, it was a grant. No explanation required to us yet. The entire country of Italy shut down in support of Gaza. Now that's major. That's major news, guys. I mean, keep your eyes over there. What's going on in Italy? And that concludes my random thought segment. Imagine what next week will bring. I have so many thoughts to share. I just want to do a quick poll recap. You guys voted. You spoke. We listened. From the last episode's Mississippi lynching segment hit the hardest, guys. 44%. Charlie Kirk death silencing came close at 39%. Oh, and let's not forget that pageant drama. 60% of y'all thought it was racism. Plain and simple. Very surprising. I thought we spelled that out in that podcast. I don't know if anyone was listening. But, so be it if that's what you thought. Most of you said you go public first if you were targeted like Eric Ramirez. Wow. You know what? Kudos to my listeners out there. I think you guys are bold, socially aware, and quite frankly, allergic to nonsense. I love it. And that concludes this week's What's Going On. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I need you guys to subscribe. I need you guys to share this with your people. Stay aware. And remember, it's not paranoia if they're really out there to get you, right? Love you guys. Talk to you soon. See you next time on Can We Talk with Juel. Bye.